I'm currently in medical school and live across the country from my family. I was surprised when his fiancé asked me to be a bridesmaid because I barely know her, but she wants to have all siblings in the wedding. I made it clear that their wedding was during my final exam week, and while I was able to get an accommodation to take my last 2 exams early, I still wouldn't be able to help much with planning or be present at things like a bachelorette party, bridal shower. She said this was fine, it would mostly just be to have an even number of bridesmaids to groomsmen and for pictures. There's a group chat that was created months ago that I would read through every couple of days to get updates on things I needed to do, namely to order a bridesmaid dress. Links were sent with 3 styles to choose from, and we would be updated on colors later. So a couple weeks go by and I ask what color to order. Bride says she's still thinking about it. Couple more weeks go by and she's still thinking. Then a couple more weeks. You get the idea. Now it's at the point that if I don't order this dress in a couple of days it won't be here in time. So I ask on Saturday what color. No response in the group chat to me. I asked again yesterday, Sunday, what color do I need to order? Then I'm flooded with messages lambasting me for not ordering a dress yet, from her sisters and my sister and her. My sister called me, told me to get my crap together and order a dress already because my lack of preparedness is causing the bride intense anxiety because she doesn't think my dress will be here on time for the wedding now. She texted me this morning, don't forget order your dress, love you with smiling and kissing emojis. Still, no one has told me what color. I've scoured the group chat for a mention of dress colors or an image of a dress, but only the maid of honor sent a photo of her dress and I don't know if she has a special color. There's thousands of messages, so it's not simple to find anything. Everyone else can meet in person, so I assume the decision on color was relayed in person. I can't tell if I'm being purposefully excluded. About an hour ago my brother called me pleading with me to work things out with the bride because she's panicking about me. I tried to explain this to him and he told me he doesn't care, it's a petty ladies issue, and since I'm not there for anything else this is the least I can do because the bride thinks I don't like her because I wouldn't come to anything. He's taking her side. They know I'm in medical school, I have literally no say in my schedule. And I'm on the other side of the country, 5.5 hours by plane. I'm fed up with them and contemplating telling my instructors the wedding was moved and I will take my exams at the regular time. I'd have more time to study that way anyway. I haven't told anyone in my family I'm considering this. Would I be the idiot? Not the idiot. This feels like a phone call situation to me, either to the bride or one of the other bridesmaids. Like, hey Julie, I'm sitting here with a dress on my screen, I just need the color. What is it? Done. If they don't answer, call your brother and say the same thing. Can't order if you don't know the color. It's not a women's thing, it's his wedding too. Why they are being weird is beyond me, but they are. Sounds like she doesn't really want you and is possibly a bridezilla. If you have asked numerous times and he called but didn't tell her to call and tell you the color of the dress, text, email, etc. It really seems bizarre that no one can or will tell you the color of the dress. I would ask in the group chat. If you don't get a response with the actual answer after 24 hours, politely bow out of the ceremony and tell them you can't wait to see them at the wedding. Not the idiot at all. My heart rate rose just reading this and sympathizing with the stress these people are putting you through. You're extremely generous for moving your life around to be there, the least they can do is tell you what color dress to order. As a sidebar, I do think you'll regret it if you aren't able to make it to your only brother's wedding, but that doesn't have any bearing on if you're the idiot. Update, I called my mother and asked her what color the bridesmaid dresses are, she said lavender. The only color option on the website that I would call lavender are named pearly lilac, periwinkle, and orchid purple. I texted the maid of honor, bride's sister, to ask what dress color and got a multi-paragraph long lecture about not having ordered my dress yet. Basically, they are trying so hard to accommodate me being across the country by including me in the group chat. She said she didn't remember the shade name but it's a dusty purple, then sent a blurry picture of a wrinkled order confirmation. The shade name was mulberry. On the dress website that is a darker wine, purple color. I told her this and she said to order the lighter dusty purple color. I sent her a screenshot with the list of shade names and asked, which of these? She said she didn't know because everyone ordered their dress so long ago and asked for pictures of the dresses in different shades from the website. So I sent screenshots of all the light purple colors. No response for a while, so I called her on the phone, which she was upset about because it's past 10 p.m. over there now. Her response was, "Look, I don't care what your problem is with me and my sister, but if you want to stay in good standing with this family, you need to get your ducks lined up, girly." I ignored the lecture, comments and asked, "What color?" Her response? "Light purple." Me, of the 3 I sent, which one is it? Her, "I don't remember, I'll have to ask one of the other bridesmaids for her receipt, I'll get back to you." I want to bash my head into a wall. I called my second brother, the one not getting married. He said they're pulling similar things with him and he feels like he was deliberately given the wrong dates for the bachelor party by the best man, bride's brother, so that he would miss it. He inadvertently learned about the changed date the morning of, and when he asked the best man, he told him it must have slipped his mind to tell him. Then joked that he wouldn't have missed much since he probably won't enjoy any of the festivities anyway. They've been making terrible jokes and comments to him that he's been ignoring, but he thinks they're trying to get him to back out of the wedding. So if we both back out, then there will be an even number of bridesmaids to groomsmen again. Only speculation on our parts, of course. Update 2. I was seriously considering pulling out, but the collective rage here and my fading motivation to study has me thinking. By this point, with how this post took off, I wouldn't be surprised if they find it at some point, so I don't want to reveal my cards just yet. Thank you to the comments that gave me the idea. I guess I'll be making an update mid-June if it all goes to plan. Final update, thanks to some responses, I called the bridal salon and asked what colors were ordered. 4 dresses in the color Flint, 1 in mulberry. The MOH was setting me up to believe mulberry was the color of all the dresses. So, I ordered 1 in mulberry and 1 in Flint. I only let the MOH know I purchased a mulberry dress. I caught a red eye to be there for the rehearsal. They had a room to get ready in the morning and wanted all the dresses stored there. I show up with the mulberry dress. The bride begins crying because it's too late to fix it. She asks if I would be upset if asked to drop out because mulberry is for the MOH. I pretended like I had made such a big mistake. I said, "I know a girl that works at the salon. Let me call her and see if there's any way to make it right, and if not, I'll step down because I want you to have the perfect day." I show back up the next morning to start getting ready with the correct dress in tow. My friend looked in the back for me and they just had this returned yesterday. What are the odds? Exact style, color and my size, it's a sign. Silence. Then an awkward, "That's amazing." Now I'll be honest, I thought the revenge would be that they had to have me and younger brother in the wedding and photos. I couldn't have planned the next part. They had to explain to the makeup artist there was an additional bridesmaid, meaning they planned from the beginning that I wouldn't be in this wedding. The ceremony went fine. We took photos after. Then, there were no place settings for me and little bro with the wedding party at the reception since banked on 1 less bridesmaid and 1 less groomsman being present. The table was almost not long enough, 2 chairs had to be thrown on the ends. We didn't get food initially because we were actually in the seating plan at other tables, so our plates were brought to those place settings. I can tell my brother, groom, seems ticked off at the staff for seemingly not having things set up properly, but the bride and best man diverted his attention. Before he, groom, left, he found me and said he asked the MOH why the setting were wrong, and he was told I asked to be dropped from the wedding party weeks ago, then showed up and demanded to be in the wedding. I said I didn't ask to be dropped and showed him my phone where she gave me a thumbs up on the dress. He noticed the screenshot was not the dress I was currently wearing, so I said I had to last minute switch it out after confusion on the color. He seemed satisfied with that. They left on their honeymoon, and my brother returned several days early. Alone. So, you can guess how that went. My 22 ex, 27, and I broke up last year and it was quite messy. When we started dating, I made friends with his friends and their girlfriends/wives and formed a very strong friendship with some of them, one of which I was part of her bridal party at her wedding, which happened after my ex and I broke up, but she insisted she still wanted me there. When we ended things, I gave him the option of me leaving the friend group chat, as well as the girls group chat. There were 3, girls, guys and combined. Knowing that I was close with them, particularly the girls, he told me he didn't want me to leave either of the groups and was happy for me to stick around them. So for a few months everything went on sort of normal. We even saw each other at some of the group gatherings and things were nice. One evening, My current BF and I went to one of the friends' places for a housewarming and everything seemed fine. Until the next morning when I noticed no one was chatting in the group. It's a very lively group chat. This went on for a few months until I eventually confronted one of the girls that I was close with, and she admitted that X had thrown a tantrum after my BF and I left the housewarming and said that me being around upsets him and that it's unfair that I'm in the group chat and his girlfriend can't be. No one said she couldn't be. He chose not to add her because I was on it, and her and I have met and chatted and were civil with each other. So they created a new chat without me and had been using that one instead of the one I was on. Literally no one told me this for months, so obviously I was upset and honestly felt betrayed by these people I thought were friends. Cut to a couple months later, a girl in the group who had given my BF and I saved the dates for her wedding. These had been given to us 6 months prior, told us we could no longer attend because her fiancé didn't want trouble at the wedding, but X was still invited. Now, I get that X and group have been friends longer, but I had known the girl for as long as he had and I always thought we were close. Also, surely if X is the one causing issues then he's the one who should be uninvited, not me? So I left the girls group chat. I had already left the other group once I learnt the truth of them making a new one, and have pretty much stopped contact with all of them. One of the girls asked me why I left and when I told her, she was quite off about it, was very short when she answered my messages. This made me feel like an A and that maybe I acted too rashly, but my current BF is really glad I stood up for myself and left, because it was honestly all very petty and high schoolish. So am I the idiot? Not the idiot, it's obvious that they chose him over you, which in reality is fine and their prerogative, but they should have been upfront with you about it. Instead of making a new chat and keeping you in the dark. So you leaving the chat is in your right after feeling like you were kicked to the curb. I know people are going to say the X is an idiot, but I feel that he has the right to change his mind about having you around. And not like he forced them to choose him, he just mentioned he was uncomfortable being around you and your boyfriend. Where in my opinion is better for him bring up now and not wait till an incident happens. I really don't think you're the idiot, but I do think you're being unrealistic. You never should have stayed in those groups. They were his friends first and it puts everyone in a difficult position. I understand that you genuinely connected with some of them, but they're still his friend group. And honestly, showing up to a housewarming full of your ex's friends with your new BF was just extremely inconsiderate. Most people would be uncomfortable with that, and you're judging him for venting to his friends. He got upset and told his closest friends he was upset. Who else is he supposed to talk to? I get that this is bad for you, it really does, but this is also just how these things go. Stop trying to be in this friend group. If you want to keep in touch with certain individual women then by all means do so, but let your ex have his friends. This is so high school. X throws a tantrum and to basically placate a child they all cave to his demands. I'm not sure why you even answered the friend when they literally created a group chat you were not in. Did they forget that part? Or just expect you to take their crappy behavior without saying anything? Clean house across the board and block numbers, social media, etc. Your ex was the biggest issue, but the other people did not have to give in here. Not the idiot. Me 28 and my husband 34 have been married for a year. Before I met him I got a dog named Ollie, a German Shepherd, that was originally my sister's but she passed away and I immediately took him to live with me. My husband adores Ollie. He sometimes jokes that he's married to me only because of Ollie. He likes making jokes and doing pranks, but some of them are downright nasty. He'd always get me worried by lying, saying Ollie ran off when he was hiding him in a place I didn't know about. He knows how much worried and stressed out those pranks make me, but he says my reaction is priceless and worth the yelling/lashing afterwards. Ollie needed to be taken to the veterinary clinic for a checkup. My husband said he'd handle it. During the second visit to get the results, I received a call from my husband and his voice sounded like he wasn't okay. I asked what was wrong. I got really worried after he said it was about Ollie. I was starting to shake. I kept asking what was going on and he told me that Ollie's been diagnosed with cancer. He said he wanted me to come over to the clinic as soon as possible because Ollie was with the vet. I couldn't stand. I started asking, is that why Ollie lost weight lately? And such. I rushed to the clinic and found my husband standing near the entrance with Ollie. First thing I noticed was him laughing hysterically, telling me that I really bought into his lie. I was confused. He said it was just a prank. Ollie is perfectly healthy and handed me the results to check. After I checked, I lost it. I lashed out at him. NGL, I called him awful names and his face suddenly turned red like he didn't expect me to react that way. He argued that I made it a big deal obviously and was being mean to him over a prank that didn't even last an hour. I kept lashing out. I didn't give him a chance to keep talking. I took Ollie and the keys, then I left. I arrived to the clinic in a taxi. I left him at the clinic while me and Ollie went home by the car. 3 hours later he came back and was upset. He usually laughs even in serious situations, but this time he didn't. He argued that I shouldn't have left him like that and that I overreacted. Said he was trying to make good memories to look back on and laugh at, but I was unnecessarily overreacting. He stopped talking after that. Just wanted to mention that this started months after his father's passing. His family said he never mentions his dad nor keeps anything of his, although they were very close. I never met his father, but they told me he wasn't suffering from anything and his death was sudden, and my husband had a hard time processing it. This could be the reason for his behavior. Not the idiot. After reading more of the backstory in your responses, there is only one reasonable way to move forward here. You need to sit down with your husband and tell him, point blank, that his jokes about death, injury, illness, etc. are not now, nor have they ever been even remotely amusing. Not to you. Not to his family. And not to the half of his friends who no longer speak to him because of them. Then this is the time for an ultimatum, but you have to be willing to follow through if he doesn't do his part. Either he gets professional help to actually deal with his grief in appropriate and healthy ways, or you're filing for divorce. I almost always roll my eyes when someone tells people to divorce people and escalate, etc. But no, this guy is a damn monster. He lied about a friend dying. He is psychologically abusing the hell out of you. Would you let him do this to your kids? Can you imagine the damage when he convinces your kids you died as a prank? I don't know what the hell is wrong with this man, but it is not your job to fix him or figure it out. I would bounce because I would be so angry. This isn't a prank or just having fun, this is seriously messed up behavior. Like, he needs to see a psychologist about why he likes harming other people to get his jollies. This is not normal. Please don't have kids with him unless he has a complete personality change, because this stuff will cause permanent damage to his kids.